that interested you about this match today, or anything you do not agree with what I say, let me know in the comment section. Aston Villa, what do you think they're going to achieve in this year's Champions League? Do you think from what you saw today that you are backing them to make it out of the Champions League group stage into the knockout stage? More intelligent, more a little bit wiser in possession, but it looked like they were very casual. You remember the second goal that was scored by Jacob Ramsey? It was some casual pass in the 6-yard box, and before you know it, Young Boys of Switzerland 0, Aston Villa 3. Yes, if you do not know the pedigree of Young Boys in Champions League, this team are always in Champions League. I've seen them win games against Real Madrid. I've seen them win games against Bayern Munich. This team is not, yes, they're not one of the powerhouses in Europe, but they have pedigree. They have experience. Let me use that word. They have experience in Champions League. For Aston Villa to travel away, win three goals to nothing, have 2 or 3 other goals disallowed, with a very comprehensive win above this team, you might think that Young Boys is not a big name in Europe, but this win is a massive win. It's a very comprehensive one. It's the one that you have to give kudos to Unai Emery and his boys. Aston Villa have just made themselves proud. 3 points in the bag, 3 goals, and they move to the weekend. Yeah, this one just finished. Talking points, what we learned in this game. And over the weekend, I was a little bit critical about Aston Villa, about Unai Emery and the way he structures his teams, and the way his teams perform sometimes. Sometimes they seem very complacent and look like a shadow of themselves. Maybe over the weekend, they started the league game against Everton with this match in their minds. And Everton, of course, you remember when I had on that one, 2 goals to nothing in the first half before Aston Villa came back and won 3-2. Today, there was no sign of Everton in this game. There was no sign of the attitude they had over the weekend in this game. It was all professional, all committed, and they had the 3 points and 3 goals in the bag. The few things we learned in this one: Aston Villa started very, very strongly. They stayed compact, stayed professional, and it was difficult for large spans in the beginning of this game. The first 10 minutes, it was difficult for Young Boys to even get out of their own half. Aston Villa exerted themselves comprehensively and supremely over the Young Boys and got their goal. You remember the first one was disallowed, and they got their goal. Eventually, the game opened up, and the strong start to this game was one of the reasons why Aston Villa won the game, because they really never gave the Young Boys a chance to get into this one. So, their defensive display as well in this game is something that has to be mentioned. They stayed very, very strong, made it difficult for Young Boys to create anything meaningful against them. And this was the reason why on this foundation, they built this 3 points, 3 goals win. And you're not going to say that without mentioning 2 players who, for me, were key in handing over Aston Villa these 3 points today. And this is Yuri Tillemans and Onana. These two men or 2 boys or whatever you want to call them in the middle of the park for Aston Villa are, for me, the men of the match. And I will give it to Onana especially, because of course, what we're going to get from Onana: athleticism. He got his goal, was very, very strong in duels, broke everything that is breakable against Aston Villa from the Young Boys. Tillemans helped so much in transition and moved forward, created, caused problems in the attacking third against the Young Boys. And the 2 of them, they had a very spirited and committed display today. and this is the reason why Aston Villa won this game. I don't know who the man of the match was. Yeah, I've not looked at the numbers and the report for this game. This recording the video just right away after watching the match. But I believe that man of the match for this game should go to either Onana or Tillemans. This is one of the best I have seen from Tillemans since he moved to Aston Villa, honestly. Onana has been doing his thing, but Tillemans really stepped up today. And you would think he has been in the Champions League forever, the way he performed today. And the modern day football is beginning to show that set pieces are very, very important. Aston Villa needed that to break the ice today, and this opened up the game. And you could see from that set piece that it was worked on, and they used it throughout the game as well. And you could see that they worked on that set piece, and it got them a goal. Though you're going to blame the young boys, because Aston Villa had a short corner, looped the ball over the crowd, and the young boys were very slow to step out. Tillemans took his goal, and this opened up the game straight away. And it was always going to be Aston Villa winning this one. One would think that in the second half, the young boys be playing at home probably will come up with something and be a little bit more aggressive in their approach. But it was never a contest. It was just Aston Villa just had this one in the bag from the onset. And from Aston Villa point of view, they got this guy Durham who scored today. Kane, very magnificent strike. Boy, I don't know. This guy is. I think the only reason why Watkins is starting for Aston Villa now is because Durham just joined them. Aston Villa Watkins is having his time. Yes, though he caused havoc against the young boys up front. Again, one or two chances today he missed. Though he got his goal, which was disallowed, but he also had chances to have got himself a goal today. And you could see by his body language when he was substituted that because it's going to look like a written script now each time Aston Villa plays 65 minutes thereabout, he's going to come out. And if this continues, in less than no time, Durham might start benching Watkins. Watkins needs to step up. He needs to start getting clinical. Remember, you can blame him for the reason why Aston Villa lost against Arsenal in the first game of the season this season, because if he had taken the two chances that he got, I'm sure Arsenal wouldn't have won that game. Maybe the most they would have gotten from that game would have been a draw. So yeah, Watkins needs to step up. He needs to. I know he was working hard, putting the opponent defenses under pressure with his pace and running behind and creating spaces for his teammates behind him. But as a striker, you are going to be rated and measured. Performance going to be measured by the number of goals he scored in the season. So he needs to step up in that direction and start to score goals. The young boys, let me close this one by mentioning a few things about them. I expected them to be a little bit more intelligent, a little bit wiser in possession, but it looked like they were very casual. You remember the second goal that was scored by Jacob Ramsey? It was some casual pass in the 6-yard box, and before you know it, the ball was in the back of the net. I don't know what their coach, what they worked on before this game. I don't know what they were thinking about. I don't know if they felt that Aston Villa was a small team, and they were naive, if you ask me, in this game. I hope they have learned from this and be more serious, because from the way they play, you could see that team have been together. You could see that team, they understand themselves. They have a way they play, but the attitude wasn't just it. It was too one step too back, was too casual for me, and that's the reason why they couldn't. Aston Villa coming with that committed attitude and the aggression that, of course, you get in EPL, they couldn't deal with it. So if they want to do anything in this competition, young boys, they have to change their attitude. They looked good. Technically, they looked good. The players individually, as a team, you could see they have a style of play, but the attitude was just not it, and they couldn't. Once that happened, they considered 1 goal, 2 goals. You could see that Aston Villa grew in confidence and was ready for the fight and was more committed to the duels and everything. And at the end of the day, it was difficult for them to come out from it. Yeah, so I give it to Unai Emery. They are started very strong with Aston Villa in the Champions League this season. It looks like their main business. Yeah, the only thing they have to worry about now is how to balance, the mindset of focusing on performing, 3 days every 3 days have to perform, because it looked like this game was in their mind in the weekend. And they almost, if Everton were a more serious team, and Aston Villa would have lost that game on Saturday and then coming in today. So Unai Emery has to figure out how he's going to manage this team and work on their mentality and know exactly what their priority is going to be. Obviously, for the Champions League, you have to aim at least to try to get from the group stage and then see what happens from there. And that doesn't, negate or substitute for expectation in the league as well. So I know they have bought some players, and now they have a strong squad, but it's now a matter of mindset and mentality going forward. So congrats to Aston Villa. If you let me know what you think, that thing that you saw in the game that interested you about this match today, or anything you do not agree with what I say, let me know in the comment section. Aston Villa, what do you think they're going to achieve in this year's Champions League? Do you think, from what you saw today, that you are backing them to make it out of the Champions League group stage into the knockout stage? So let me know, and I will see you. We're moving forward now to go watch the Liverpool game against AC Milan, and I'll see you at the end of that one. Ciao.